Where is it? An old physics book? Let's see. Energy. Energy is the ultimate currency to the universe. Subsequently, you can measure a civilization's development stage by its energy demand and means of production. One such model is the Kardashev scale. It groups civilizations into 3 groups. A Type 1 civilization is able to access all forms of energy on its home planet, be it burning, fission, or the environment. A Type 2 civilization is able to access directly the energy of its home star through the use of a Dyson Sphere. Dyson Sphere? Dyson Sphere. I've seen that somewhere before. That's right, Dyson Sphere Program, a game where you play as this guy,
Icarus,
with the goal of supplying the almighty center brain with an unlimited amount of energy. At the start of the game, you get comfortably dropped off onto the starting planet by this comfortable landing craft, in stark contrast to some other game. From here, you can then start to build up your economic production nexus, fostering diverse, interconnected industrial activities, like crafting, smelting, or crafting, using the spare parts of your enemies, with the end goal of reaching the knowledge to the universe. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Starting out, I have to manually gather small quantities of highly pure resource stashes by hand. These high-quality raw minerals can then be refined into more sophisticated products using a highly advanced quantum fabricator. With these products, I can research into the first steps of the Industrial Revolution. Currently, I'm progressing through the first and into the beginning of the second Industrial Revolution. Therefore, our knowledge grants me access to smoothed out and polished 16-inch rolled industrial iron and copper plates, durable, finely cut interlocking iron gears, electricity conducting signal producing circuitry, and a Fruit Loop. The first step in the Industrial Revolution is the destruction of the local wildlife to fuel the grinding gears of the economy, or in other terms, myself. Since the last thing that I want is to continue having to manually gather only small amounts of minerals.
Machine. It automatically collects ores for you.
Bro! Would you shut up? I'm talking!
You can select it in the inventory or in the construction menu. Collect.
Okay, where was I? Ah yes, I researched simple autonomous units tasked with extracting these sweet resources from the minerally enriched deposits in the ground for me. Very good. Alone, you're weak, but together we are strong. Okay, genuinely, this joke is overused. What I meant is to combine the resource extractors with the smelters into a factory using belts and sorters, automating all the manual labor from picking up minerals to smelting and assembly. These are revolutionary work methods no one has ever seen before. Look at this, they are coming out being picked up and inserted. Amazing!
Only compatible if a conveyor belt.
The smelters smelting and the assemblers assembling the first advanced wares, which then the belts belting to the sorters sorting them to the underpaid and undervalued laboratory interns staffing the research labs. With these, they can manufacture tasty looking drops, flavor, mint ocean wisdom. With these cubes, the path to research into Tier 1 technologies opens for us. These include more efficient factory parts and new production facilities. The second industrial revolution is now in full swing. By developing heavy chemical industries, we get access to basic chemical products. We can research steel, a material with higher durability than plain iron plates, which we can use to build extractors to pump high energy dense hydrocarbons from the ground to fuel our ever more energy intensive economic expansion into more sophisticated sectors.
You've unlocked universe exploration.
First, however, I want to construct an automated production line to manufacture all the different buildings in bulk, so I don't have to slowly craft them by hand anymore. For that, I will need a bigger smelter array for iron and copper plates, and a few more assemblers making circuitry and coils. Now hook all of this up into one bus, and then this will forever passively produce more buildings than I can possibly use up at once. After completing that, for the next step I will need spicy air and forbidden crayons. The crayons are very easily made by just putting raw coal into a furnace. So we're already 50% done. Great! And a little bit of sweat and a little bit of toil and a big blind eye to the wildlife spoiled, finally we're making oil, the initial material in the spicy air production line. Feeding the oil to the refineries to split off the hydrogen, we can then once again feed the resulting spicy air with the forbidden crayons to our underpaid and undervalued laboratory interns, so they can make tasty looking drops, flavor strawberry cherry flower. Shipping these into the basic research facilities, together with the blue ones, our interns can design a whole new array of complicated Tier 2 machinery. We are going headfirst into the third industrial revolution. It is the time of information technologies, allowing us to increase production throughput by developing more efficient transportation methods and utilizing chemically complex or physically unstable elements and particles. Me wanting to instantly capitalize on these new technologies, I instantly decided to upgrade the buildings factory, going from Mark 1 belts to Mark 2 belts, and from Mark 1 sorters to Mark 3 sorters. After that, I used these new buildings for the start on my first bigger factory block. Remember it, because it will be important in a moment. Until then, the next goal will be Vitamin C Gummy. The ingredients for that are 1 fully iced out Mark 1 and 1 fully iced out Mark 2. For the fully iced out Mark 1, I only need to use state-of-the-art heat and pressure applying technology on the forbidden crayons again, to reprocess them into fully iced out Mark 1s.
Oh no!
The fully iced out Mark II, however, require titanium plates first. Since there is no titanium on my home planet, it is time that I move over to a close planet that has titanium ore and build a smelter line for it there. Going over on another planet, I made first contact with my competitors for the race to the universe. I hope that they won't mind me staking my claim to my land and my highly pure enriched mineral titanium veins. With that, I got the first part for the fully iced out Mark II. And while being on it, I also made a smelter line for silicon ore, since that will be needed soon as well. What is next, you may ask? For the iced out Mark IIs, I need second to titanium plates, organic crystals? What blood sorcery are we conducting here? Titanium I can just steal from this other planet, but organic crystals? For these we need plastics, water, and reprocessed oil. Lucky me, the reprocessed oil I already get as a leftover side product from the spicy air production. This I only then need to turn into plastics, and then the plastics in turn into organic crystals, which then make with the titanium plates the Ice Mark II. So great. Wait, we turn plastic into organic material? What kind of black magic? On second thought, my neighbors do not seem to like that I had shiny new technology to mine the ore veins on this planet. After defending against this first wave, I really should think about something to deal with these guys, or I could bother myself with having to fly over there every 2 minutes to defend this manually. Anyways, over at home base, I am now producing the vitamin C gummies, which I promptly once again feed to our intern in the basic research facility. Following along the forced industrialization, we can utilize information technologies to their fullest for our transportation system, to achieve its full potential, meaning to build fully autonomous planetary and interstellar logistics hubs. A strategically integrated system of planned-out logistics centers that can ship large quantities of goods from the place of extraction to manufacturing to consumption are the life arteries of any large-scale industrial network. And when you look very closely, you can even see they have same-day delivery stickers on them. This is what I call true customer service. You remember the factory block I told you to remember about a few minutes ago? That is right, we can now finally use it. After automating the entire process of crafting interstellar logistics stations with this, there stands nothing more in my way of utilizing all the planets to their fullest potential in order to maximize profit margins. Well, almost nothing. I need to quickly expand it to also make the logistics bots and logistics vessels to man the interstellar logistics stations, because I forgot to do that earlier. Now that I have these interstellar logistics stations and the transport vessels, I can use them to automatically ship in resources that I can't produce on home planet. And the first thing I will use them for is to finally automate the transport route of silicon and titanium from the second planet to home base. The second thing I will use them for is to ship in, beyond silicon and titanium, iron and copper plates, since I'm starting to run out of resource veins to tap into on home planet. I also need to produce more energy on the second planet to keep the operation there running. The only downside being that the locals' anger is feeding on my energy production, just like my upstairs neighbor's anger against me is feeding on me recording this on a weekday night. Moving back to home base, skipping the step where you burn large amounts of fossil fuels to produce the energy needed in an industrializing society, I decided to directly invest into the infrastructure of a large-scale solar farm at the North Pole. This will supply me day-round with enough energy to run everything here for now. Oh, it is time to whip out this big boy. The first stone blueprint I ever made. Why is it time? Because I'm planning to upgrade the building's production once again. This will produce the supermagnetic field generating devices used in the new production's recipes, which I still need to unlock first. I'm moving on from nimble Mark 1 assemblers to swift Mark 2 assemblers, from slow Mark 2 belts to lightning fast Mark 3 belts, and from cumbersome Mark 3 sorters to high capacity Mark 4 sorters. That leads me directly to the next stepping stone for our ultimate goal. These violet night lights. These require, once again, 2 components. Most state-of-the-art processor units made in our leading technology sector, whom we get to in a moment, and particle broadband cables. The cables require highly fine-tuned silicon crystals, plastics, and carbon nanotubes. Carbon nanotubes, which are made by combining the forbidden crayons with extra tasty water into graphene, which we can then reinforce with titanium plates into said carbon nanotubes. Why did I explain that? Because I felt like it. I don't have to specifically build anything for this, since they are produced locally within my build already. For the processor units, I will just construct a sizable plant next door, requiring only semiconductors and circuitry. Hooking all of this up to a logistics station, and the system is ready to roll. But I gotta say, these are some expensive nightlights. Now, after going through this hassle of collecting all these resources and even starting to mine an entire gas giant next door, with that, we just reached the 5th industrialization. We develop high-powered, fine-tuned, science-breaking quantum technologies and can utilize nature itself to our advantage. Since the system is now overflowing with hydrogen, because it's a byproduct from the fire ice production, I decided to use all the excess to convert it into deuterium. This deuterium will then get bottled up into these fuel cells, and I can use it to generate power on one hand. On the other, I can use it in particle colliders with a particle container and a bit more casing material to produce strange matter. Yeah, maybe just what we have been looking for. Since at this stage progressing has become so resource intensive that I need to start tapping into foreign systems to fuel the ever-turning gears of my assemblers and ever-raging flames of my smelters. For that, the center brain gave us a special technology. On the outside, it appears to be a normal lens. But on the inside, it's a lens containing the twisted and powerful gravitational field of a neutron star, allowing me to change the spatial structure and reach even the furthest star systems in a more reasonable amount of time. Wait, this doesn't add up. What is going wrong here? A system of that distance doesn't even require close to that amount of time. Get over here. Okay, let me see. Ah, so the game uses a different scaling. Well, now it makes more sense. So where was I? Yes, the lenses allow me to travel in a more reasonable amount of time. The first system to fall prey to the expansion of my economy will be this one over here. This planet got some never-seen-before wildlife contained on its surface. Some will say worthy of studying. But you know what it is missing? Yep, looks already just like home. The penultimate step towards the end goal is a radioactive cube? I haven't paid much attention while being in science class, but even I know that you should not eat, touch, or stay near anything that is radiating a green aura as strong as this one. But what has to be done will be done. So what does its production require? Nothing fewer than, next to our space-time defying lenses, a quantum computer chip. All that is required for a quantum computer chip are a regular processor as a base and a plane filter or two. A tool that can use the Rabi oscillation to obtain the law of probability change with time during the evolution of the particle wave function, and is in turn made from reinforced glass and a Casimir crystal, which is a spatial ring-shaped ion crystal made by using a strong electric field to fix the charged particles and the Coulomb repulsion between the particles. And if you think I made this one up, no! These are the actual item descriptions. While I was busy building this, the local thought they could set up shop in my backyard. What a pristine opportunity to test out my newfound toys, battle bots and rocket turrets. And these not rent-paying planet squatters are gone.
You've built a missile.
A few moments later, and all of the required production steps for the quantum chip are done. And I can feed the quantum chips, together with the gravitation lenses, to the lab interns. With these, they can make the green radiation cube. The fifth and last cube our research interns need at the basic lab. Interesting side note, the green cubes are the only cubes that have a secondary production purpose next to the research labs, which is to use them to make 8 times the amount of space warpers I could make before using only lenses. I call that a good deal. Now I'm finally ready for the next step in my 7-step program, building a Dyson Sphere. A Dyson Sphere consists of 2 parts. First, the shell containing the second, solar sails. The solar sails are pretty cheap to build. All that these require are a bit of graphene, which I get supplied in mass by the fire ice, which is stolen from the gas giant next door, simple circuit boards and photon combiner. None of this matters, however, since all of this is already being produced over here together with frame material, one of the parts for the Dyson Sphere components. Speaking of the Dyson Sphere components, the shell is a bit more resource intensive than the sails. The shell's components must be delivered by carrier rockets, whom require integrated quantum computing and sizzling fuel rods. The sizzling fuel rods we can just siphon off from our already existing energy production, and the quantum chips are already being manufactured for the green cubes. The only thing left I needed a production line for were the Dyson Sphere shell components themselves. Having built all of this, I can start sending out rockets to build our own Dyson Sphere. Or at least a ring of a Dyson Sphere for now. Thinking about what to do next, I started to finish up all the shortcomings of Homebase. Whether it is missing resources, too much resources, old miners that run out of resources. When building new smelter plants on another planet, I realized that my level 1 smelters weren't cutting it anymore for the number of resources that needed smelting now. But it was not just the smelters, I decided to upgrade all of the buildings. Going from Mark II to Mark III assemblers, from chemical plants to quantum chemical plants, from mining machines to advanced mining machines, and at last from arc smelters to plane smelters. There was just one problem. While I was able to manufacture all the other buildings, I didn't have the required unipolar magnets for the plane smelters yet. So I decided to go and get the unipolar magnets for the plane smelters from the only system that had some. This pretty far away neutron star system over here. Right now I am floating on my way to the neutron star system. But do you hear that? Yeah. That warning signal with the bright red line telling me that Homebase is under attack? Well, I clearly did not, because I was busy doing other things.
Gelegenheitsprotokoll 74.1 erfolgreich abgeschlossen.
Getting back home, a big part of Homebase was already destroyed and the invaders gone. Now, this has become personal. Only one of us will be walking out of this alive. Unfortunately, with the current state of my planet, I can hardly start an all-out war. So the decision is now whether I just rebuild the old cranky system that I was running before, or I could just finish this spontaneous deconstruction operation myself and build a more efficient, fully modular, with at least 5% more throughput delivering system in new. Obviously I chose the option 2, since some parts of my base had been looking like this, or this, and were beyond repair. Let us be honest, they were even beyond working in the first place, really. Okay, no, actually these FPS are not okay, but I'm far too committed at this point to just break off the operation here. And you bet that commitment stayed for the next few hours. Everything that I owned on this planet is now neatly stored away on this little contraption and a few boxes on the outside. I also used the time to steal a blueprint for a compact build that manufactures all the different buildings inside the game, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. With that, I can start rebuilding. And by rebuilding, I mean stealing highly efficient blueprints from people online, because they've put more thought and effort in them than I have proven to possess so far. I will build everything this time around fully modular and serve the logistics stations. We have autonomous smelter arrays, autonomous high-capacity production units, and the military-industrial complex 1, 2, and 3, who will fuel our reconquest in a moment. Quite funny, I have built all of this from the research stash from before the attack, and I'm still not out of buildings. See, it was worth it collecting everything to restart the new production lines. To supply this entire operation, I applied the advanced mining machines. They can service an entire ore vein on their own, have a 3 times production speedup and logistics network integration, which lets me directly supply smelter blocks that can make then plate in the thousands, shipped directly from off-world into home base. And of course, everything in off-world mining operations is still supplied by solar green energy because of the goodness in my heart to nature and not the fact that this is the least maintenance-intensive energy form. Did I say the 5th cube was the last one? Well, there is one more after it, the almighty one, the cube of all cubes, the incomprehensible paperweight that is the white one. For that, we need next to one of every other cube, the last thing the universe has to offer. We need to harness the power of antimatter itself. And this is the fun part. We can only create antimatter by collecting a huge amount of energy. An amount of energy only a star would be able to produce. An amount of energy we can only farm through a Dyson Sphere. What a coincidence, isn't it? This energy will then be sent off to our home planet in the form of a critical photon, from which we can extract the antimatter and a proton. Another coincidence is me finding seemingly out of nowhere a blueprint for a super compact lab block that produces 600 white matrices a minute in my blueprint book. And to this I can only say, yes please. Well, at least it would be running on that capacity if I could supply it with sufficient energy. But as you can see, my entire operation is running on minimum energy requirements, and I should fix that. Solution? Since I can't fit any more reasonably sized solar farms on my home planet, I just import solar energy from off-world. And with this, the energy demands should hopefully be met for now, even if not for long. The time has come to bring the fight to our enemy and reclaim previously lost lands to further expand into. How will I defeat them? Using untold amounts of violence. A ring of rocket turrets around the pole, combined with single towers, can delete everything and anything on the surface of a planet. Isn't that great? Hooray! Banishing the locals from the first planet I can now use it to build a factory for rockets. With that, I can start constructing a bigger Dyson sphere, or a Dyson wall. You can hardly call this a full sphere yet. Nonetheless, that will help me not just meet the demands of antimatter for the white matrix production, but also the energy demands in general, since you can use the antimatter to make a fuel rod for an artificial star. And with that, I go reclaiming the second planet as well. Works just flawlessly. The second planet I actually can't build much on, since the planet has a lack of sun energy or any natural energy really. Or I would need to implement a functional energy sharing infrastructure from another planet to here, and I can't be bothered to do that. So for now, I will just use them for resource extraction. Having built 3 major factories here, sure, I have used some buildings built by the new manufacturing hub, but I'm still not out of pre-attack buildings. This is how much overproduction or mismanaged production I had with the build back then. I am producing so much hydrogen now that I need to burn excess hydrogen just to keep the system running. I am truly only suffering from success so far. This is me, standing around, waiting for research to finish. I hope this won't get any worse. To faster increase the solar cell count, I built a launch station containing 224 electromagnetic injectors. And I gotta say, they look heckin' cool. Time for something interesting again. Time to test out our newly found technologies against the inhabitants of another system. First, I will need to destroy the system hive itself. And then every station on every planet. And now, time to start a new site project. I want to cover this entire planet with foundations. Why? Because I decided to unwater the only entire water planet in this entire cluster. But I ran out of foundations. I will need to come back later to finish this up. On my little adventure, I was able to defeat the hive in that system. You know what that means? I maybe could take on the hive in my own system as well. Nope, I couldn't take him on in one run. Which just means I need to come back with more firepower. And there he's gone. When once again faced with the decision of waiting for research to finish, I decided it is time to expand our white science production. I can just utilize the production capacities on Homebase itself to feed an array of labs for white matrices without having to build anything further than the lab itself, really. I should have started way earlier with this modular production. This makes everything so much easier. The logistics stations get fed the materials that are needed for their specific cube, and the materials can be produced by physically disconnected factories. This should hopefully speed up the research progress. I have just finished the first full Dyson sphere. What to do now? Building an even bigger one around it, of course. And then it's time to tap into another planet's resources. Applying the advanced mining machines, this has become so much easier. Using a bit of spare time, I decided to build a farming base to farm my enemy for resources. While this first one wasn't particularly productive, it gave me fine insight into running later ones. And the blueprint still looked cool. It was good at one thing though. Using the resources collected by the farm, I can continue to build on my little side project. Look at this view. This is what we have created. I am professionally farming millions of cubic liters of groundwater, bottling it up and shipping it to a faraway place for consumption. Just like... at another farming base. And another one. With this I will generate enough of the stuff that I will need in a moment. And the stuff that I will need in a bit further of a moment. But we will get back to that then. I decided to connect my building production to a logistics station. This will allow me to access buildings in large quantities everywhere without having to travel back and forth. This should come in handy for later projects. You know what I haven't worked on in a while? My little side project. I have collected enough of the stuff that I need in a moment, meaning soil piles, to completely fill the rest of the planet. Hooray! We managed to run all out of resources on home planet. And over on my little side project, I managed to cover the entire planet in foundations. Well, now it's time to get back on track with the ultimate end goal. Dominating my mortal enemy. Even my old new matrix production can't keep up with the number of matrices needed now for every further upgrade. And since I'm already severely limited on space in my home star system, it is time to go big. I want to expand into a new system solely dedicated to matrix production. This system will coincidentally be the same system with the brightest star. That is to ensure that I can sufficiently supply the white matrix production with enough antimatter when building a new Dyson Sphere there. First, I will need the stuff from a bit further in a moment, which are parts of my enemy. Because first researching and then crafting using the spare parts of your enemies allows me to get the best buildings in the game, which are the recomposing assembler, the self-evolutionary lab, and the negentropy smelter. These are the last buildings left in the game, and the top ones in their respected categories, boasting an unholy 3 times base production speed. With this, we can reach production efficiency levels to chew through whatever the advanced miners can throw at them, which will definitely be needed for the next build. Second, I need to clear out the target system from these techno junkies before I can do anything there. First, rooting up the rotten roots from all the planets. And then unbuilding their command center. This is going to be the largest blueprint I have ever used so far. 7,200 matrices a minute peak capacity. Should last me all game. Is what I thought back then. I could not have been more wrong. This new factory will require way more minerals than I can currently produce, so it is time to tap into a few off-world markets. So don't mind me, I'm just going to retire a few enemies from life early today on my new planets. For the Dyson Sphere, I will just do the same as in Homesystem, by designating an entire secondary planet to Dyson Sphere production. As a design for the Dyson Sphere, I found this more elaborate design of a flower online, but then I had to face the reality of my PC's capabilities and go for a more compact design, since I won't be able to display it in-game anyway, or my FPS would die even more than they are doing already. As you may have realized by now, the playback has been sped up to ×2 speed. This was the speed the game was running at this point. Not looking too bad yet, just wait. This game does have some nice animations, but the rocket production is not going fast enough. So therefore, I took the executive decision to designate an entire other planet for a rocket factory that makes 1,000 rockets a minute. Probably a bit overkill, but my mind set itself on the next side project, reaching 1 terawatt Dyson Sphere power output. Don't forget to visit the farming bases every few minutes, because one raider managed to destroy the collector belt again. Since the white matrices are now being produced in the background, letting me outscale my enemy, I can enact the first round of revenge by letting the first hives into Davy Jones' space locker. Cool delete animation. I did this just for a test. But man, doesn't it look dope? You ever just sit there and wonder if all that murdering is necessary for 2 extra FPS? Answer: yes, it's absolutely worth it. I'm getting the slight feeling that I'm still not strong enough to take on the stronger hives by the simple fact that they're killing me instead of me killing them. But research is not going fast enough anymore for higher upgrades. That pushed me towards making a little experiment. If my UPS, the game's logic speed, will further decrease when I build more matrices factories. Because if I can produce more matrices at a just slight decrease in UPS, then I make a net gain in research speed. Since I finished both spheres on my home star system and have almost no resources left on the planets there except a bit of stone, I thought that I could build the new production plant on the 3rd and 4th planet in my home system. Apparently no. After finishing the 2 builds on Homestar System Planet 1 and 4, I am just producing more white matrices with still half a game's speed. Well, I take it. With that, research speed should hopefully be up to the task again. Back to producing space scrap I go. And if not producing space scrap, I need to expand the miner fleet since we are taking in even more resources now. But then again, space scrap. And don't forget to expand the miner fleet. And then again, space scrap. But don't forget to expand the miner fleet. And then again, space scrap. But don't forget to expand the miner fleet. But then again, space scrap. And don't forget to expand the miner fleet. But then again, space scrap. You know, I took a bit of time off and just stood around in the world for a solid 79 hours, 32 minutes and 12 seconds or so. I've reached a point where every single further upgrade now costs 1 million white matrices. This is not okay. On the flip side, I believe we're creating resources out of thin air. We are having an ore loss rate of 0.01%. Let me calculate this really quick. A planet with 100 million units of minerals would last me at my current extraction rate for around 5,500 minutes or around 92 hours, and produce a total of 5.7 billion units of ore. I would officially call it here, I have broken the scaling of this game. But we're not done yet. The problem can't be the miners, since they can produce resources like there's no tomorrow. Solution? Building more white matrice factories. I decided to use one of the systems I had taken over previously. I mean, by now I knew the plan. Go in, level ground, put down blueprint, and then reroll big bucks. After building 2 more of these factories, however, my drug production couldn't keep up with it anymore. To increase production throughput, I use Mark III Proliferator. This is a drug? An item? That lets me produce 25% more goods with the same input material. But now I'm requiring so much of this fuel that I need an entire planet tasked with making it. This planet is taking almost 10 gigawatts of power. This is as much power as home base needed at peak operation times. You know? Just getting slightly out of control. Speaking of home base, I decided to level most of the production there because following the new factories, the UPS took yet another hit. We are at 1/3 game speed to real life time. By me playing back this footage at 3 times speed, you're being spared the excruciating pain that I had to play in, which at this point looked more like this stop motion footage. I should now be strong enough to take on the last remaining holdouts of my technocratic adversaries. Since I'm on my tour of showing the others the way of my star system, I need to find a final solution to my farming bases. And the idea I had was to take them and resettle my farming bases from here all the way to over there, the edge of the cluster. With my newly researched capabilities, and more powerful than ever before, and more powerful soon to be, it is time to add what they have started over 100 hours ago. Only one of us will walk out of this alive. Either it is me, or these hive-controlled, incompetent, unfriendly space NPCs, and I can't insult people. I have already cleared the entire western and most eastern part of this cluster. Now the only thing left is to clean up the middle and close east. I will put a counter right here, so you can see how many I have left to defeat. I just came out of my first series of brutal fights. I have 500 shift laps in reserve, they have amassed a force of over 4,000 spacecraft. I'm outnumbered 1 to 8, our chances are not good. But I will accept this challenge. This is why I've put all the research into maximum firepower. We charge in there to win glorious or die trying. I did not believe that I could make that. I mean, almost none is left, but I genuinely did not believe that I could make that. However, this gave me the confidence that this will be the war to end all wars. I can completely eradicate the space junk from my cluster for once and all. But for now, it's time to return home and restock on space fighters with whom I can finish the last remaining bases off. Okay, this is it. This will be our last mission. We need to clean the black hole and the neutron star. These are probably the hardest to clean systems, since they don't have the standard maximum of 3, but 5 hives in them. A lot of good units will fall here, but your sacrifices in the name of Center Brain will not be forgotten. Let's charge into our last mission. The first will be clearing the neutron star, the one with whom everything started so many hours ago. did I already mention that I like the animations in this game? Just looking at the neutron star over here again. Now after defeating them near the neutron star, it is time for our last fight. Over here at the black hole will be the last battle of this cluster. Once more, let us give it our all and win this battle. This is it. We did it. We defeated these space nerds and cleaned the entire cluster. Returning back home, there's only one last thing to do. There's nothing left. Guys, we won.
Congratulations, builder of the great civilization. You've completed the Dyson Sphere Program. The energy you have contributed will accelerate the development of the homeland. Every step here bears your imprint. This cluster is activated, and a star in the Milky Way is lit. It will forever record your contributions to the upcoming civilization Type 3. Now, take a rest and get ready for the next journey.
These include, but are not limited to, more efficient factory parts, new production facilities, and most important of all, oil! I thought I built out my portal, moving to the nether, I'm moving to the nether, I'm moving to the nether. Hell, weather's great here, so pull up a chair. Have a cold beer, you know the sea. So happy you'll be with your cobblestone tree. I just came out of a serious of my first series of fights. I have 500 ships left in I just came out my first series of fights. I have 500 ships left in reserve. They have amassed a force of over 4,000 spacecraft. I have collected enough of the stuff that I needed in a moment, meaning soil piles, to completely fill the rest of the planet. Or I could bother myself with having to fly over there every 2 minutes to defend it manually. Don't ask me what I was thinking. The plan? There is no plan. You know, if this game wouldn't be crashing every 2 minutes, maybe I could even get somewhere. And pray that you make it now, make it now. You never know if you don't try. So strap yourself to the rocket now, rocket now. You got your friends right by your side. Final chance when you close your eyes. Your dream burning like a rocket inside. and is in turn made from reinforced glass and cashmere crystals. A tool that can use the Rabi oscillation to obtain the law of the probability change with the time, made from reinforced glass and a cashmere crystal, which is a spatial ring-shaped iron crystal, and is in turn made from reinforced glass and a cashmere crystal, which is a spatial shaped ring which is a spatial ring made by using a strong electric field to fix the part, and the color repulsion between made from reinforced glass and a Casimir crystal, which is a spatial shaped ring trying to guess how to make an anvil. So I'm in town and I got a bag full of different ores I collected down in the mine. I'm not just wasting my time, and I feel out of no surprise. Can't believe even among the eyes, found the 7,000 tries. Well, that's a recipe I didn't know. I need some bread that I can show. I worked the part out all on my own. I'm all alone, learning how do I craft this again. Oh, how do I craft this again? Oh, I'm all I craft this again. Oh, I'm all alone. How do I craft this again? There's just one question left. What happened to that diamond from earlier? And where's that music coming from? Oh no!